What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Gadgetools Unlimited YouTube channel. I'm your host, Warner Bell. I'm the jack of all trades that runs the joint. I'm here today to talk about the last 2 years in my IT career and the next 5, the future of IT and working remotely, what it's been like, and my plans for this channel, growing it, and the content that I plan to be contributing. Really just an in-depth update on what's been going on over here on the Gadgetools side of technology. If some of this sound interesting, stick around. We're gonna talk about it. All right, so we at the end of October 2021, and I have been working remotely since May of 2020. So that's probably like what, I don't know, 18, 19 months, almost 2 years. It's close enough to 2 years for me. So a lot has been going on in the last 2 years. Let's talk about the promotions at work, right? The last video I made, which was March of 2020, I was a network support specialist 3. I just got that job probably 6 months ago. So I had been on doing that job for 6 months. And everything was going good. The pandemic hits. We start working remotely. Whole bunch of things change, processes. I was going above and beyond at work to help out the situation, help our users, help our staff. You know, everyone was working together to help cope with, the new reality. And so, I guess, I like to think that because some of my endeavors obviously was seen by the right people. And so, my name carried a positive tenor around throughout the college networks and stuff. So that's always good when everyone only has good things to say about you, right? So I was approached by the director of IT for a position to jump into a position because their expert in the position had been there forever and was retiring, and it was sudden, and they needed this position filled quickly by a competent person because it was critical to the business functions of the whole IT department, the whole college. So I guess my name had been, buzzing around, and I was approached, and I was like, yeah, I took it as a challenge. Now I had just got into the position I was in, which was directly in the area that I was pursuing because I really like networking. I was really interested in networking, still am, but I got a kind of new outlook on it now. I was like, yeah, the position was temporary, so I just jumped into it to save the situation because the person who was in this role was leaving at the end of the week. And that was just gonna be it. Nobody else knew anything about the system. It was kind of a silo deal where this guy had been there forever and he's the only one that took care of it, and then nobody else thought about it. So, yeah, it was kind of a situation. So I was like, yeah, I'll take the challenge, me along with another employee. And he had a week to show us everything he could before he was out the door. And everything else had to be took up and made sure it was working the week after he left because it was mission critical stuff, right? Needless to say, yes, challenge, right? So I still have my network title. I still have my job. This was like a temporary post with a pay increase stipend for taking on the extra duties. And so I jumped in there and did my thing, gave 110% and had good results, and it was noticed. And moving on, going on, I'm working it. Me and my other co-worker, we was working as a team. We crushing everything. Everybody smiling, everybody happy. There's a big reorganization going on across the college. So things is changing, departments is closing down, new departments is popping up, positions are disappearing, new positions are appearing. So it's just a crazy time. I don't know, about 8 months probably worked that. And I feel like I did a great job, wonderful, excel. So another position comes up on a different team that was a higher position. Obviously, that was going to come with higher pay, more responsibilities, but it was in the direction that I was looking at the time, ongoing, right? So I'm like, this would be a good opportunity, keep moving in the direction that I want to go. The position was posted, and I I submitted a resume to it. I got a response. So I took the interview. I got an offer, I guess my reputation had preceded me. I accepted the position. So I went from network administrator 3 of one of the campuses to system administrator over enterprise applications for the entire college. I worked there a while, and another position came up, and that's the position that I'm currently in, and that is senior system administrator on the data center team and the lead administrator for the cloud collaboration group. Right? Yes. And so that's my current title, and I'm enjoying it. I got exposed to a lot of new stuff, and it's definitely where I want to go. So speaking about cloud and infrastructure and data center, the last video I made, I had just sat and passed the AWS Cloud Practitioner exam. I was certified AWS Cloud Practitioner. I'm currently studying for the AWS Solutions Architect. Eventually, that's where I'm going. Obviously, I want to go toward the cloud. I'm leaning toward AWS. I like networking because I like tinkering and command lines and things. And all the networking principles on-prem or physically, all that still has to be done in the cloud. So you can go cloud with your networking and pick up a lot of other services as well. And so that is what I've been doing. Right now I'm studying for the solutions architect from AWS. Ultimately, I plan on being a solutions architect. My 5-year plan is being a cloud architect or cloud administrator as a job title, or at the very least doing the work of that. The title's not so important in the grand scheme of things. I changed positions twice, and so much had been going on with COVID and the world changing and going full remote and everything. Everything got put on hold. I was actually supposed to be starting my master's program, and that got put on hold, and it ain't even on the timeline again no more. So things change, life changes, your opinion changes, your path changes. And, sometimes you just gotta roll with it, make the best of what you can out of it. And so that's what we're doing. My future, like I said, next 5 years, cloud architect. I want to continue working remotely. I enjoy it. I probably work more, on remote than I would in the office, because there's no commute, there's no taking a lunch hour, there's no walking through this place or that place to get to a server or to get to a meeting or something. So it cuts out a lot of that travel time. All of that time gets spent on task. When you get done with a task, you may have blocks of time where you don't really have anything to do. So you can research new technology, some pesky problem that you've been dealing with in your infrastructure for a while that's just been band-aided up that you might want to tackle to go ahead and get a permanent solution for it. You got time now to take a look at that. Expanding the capabilities of the technology that you're over with, you got time to take a look at that. So like I said, I can't speak highly enough of it. Some people don't like it, some people can't deal with it, but it's what it is for me. That's what I want to do, So, and the next thing I'm trying to do is build this channel. I started this channel a while ago. under a different name. It used to be Technocalypse. Now I changed the name to the name of my business, which is Gadgetools Unlimited, and my brand name is Gadgetools Unlimited. So I'm doing everything under the umbrella of Gadgetools Unlimited now, including this YouTube channel. It's just another check or another loop in the weave of what it is to be your boy here, and do what I do in the technology area. So yeah, I want to build this YouTube channel, IT career advice and demonstration. Like I'm going to be talking about my career and what I did, steps I take, things I do. I'm going to be talking about my process from application to interview, my resume, how I keep it up to date, how I keep my skills sharpened, and what I do to learn new technologies. All of that stuff will be coming in videos, including demonstrations and unboxings and things I'm working on. I build desktop PCs, so there'll be some builds in there. Help people where I can and give people something interesting to take a look at. So that's what I'm on. That's what I'm doing. I appreciate anyone who comes by and takes a look at my content and likes it and comments on it and share it. All of that's very much appreciated. Any dialogue I can have with like-minded IT oriented individuals, I'm all for that. I love talking tech and experience, giving somebody a blueprint that they could take some jewels from and make their journey a little bit easier than perhaps mine was, or the generation before mine was. So that's always something that kind of brightens up my eyes, is the ability to help people out and make things easier and help them miss missteps and mistakes that I might have made. That kind of gladdens my heart, so to speak. So I love doing that, and that's what I'm gonna be doing here. So moving forward, I appreciate all the support. Stay tuned for videos. I'm gonna try to be putting out a lot more content on a regular basis, covering everything, my business, my life, my aspirations, my goals, how I do just about everything that I do, and so on. So subscribe to the channel, like everything for the algorithm. Stay tuned. Peace, and I'll holler at you on the next video. Love.